The inlets and 5 major sounds along the west side of Vancouver Island are part of BC's outside waters that front the Pacific Ocean. While heading into the ocean swell may seem daunting, the distances between the major sounds along the west side of Vancouver Island are minimal, ranging from 20 to 30 miles, making this route very doable for most seaworthy vessels. Once inside an inlet or one of the protected sounds, you will find these large bodies of water offer ample anchoring options and charming communities that have fuel, supplies, and guest moorage. The key to traveling coastal waters is to choose the appropriate weather window for safe, comfortable cruising. You will also want to check the period or intervals between ocean swells. For example, 12 to 14 seconds between swells or waves most likely mean the boat will gently rise and fall with the swell, but 4 to 6 second intervals may mean steep, uncomfortable seas depending on the wind, wave height, and direction. By June or July, the weather pattern is generally calm early mornings, followed by rising westerly winds in the afternoon. That said, serious storms can hit the West Coast even in the summers. The Coast Guard broadcasts continuous weather information from several locations along the West Coast. Lighthouse weather reports are particularly helpful. Check the weather reports and plan accordingly. Fog can roll in, especially in August and September, but usually burns off by late morning. You will need to keep an eye on your radar and chart plotter. The good news is, fog usually means calm seas. If you plan to circumnavigate Vancouver Island, it can be done in either direction. However, due to the prevailing westerly winds, a counterclockwise direction is preferred for sailing vessels. One of the biggest challenges is rounding Brooks Peninsula, a large piece of land that juts out 9 miles from the coast. The other challenge is rounding Cape Scott on the north end of Vancouver Island. In both cases, rogue waves and sharp pyramid-shaped seas can appear. If traveling clockwise and not planning to circumnavigate the island, boaters can end their voyage south of Brooks Peninsula and do an about-face for the return home. This allows more time to see what we think is the better half of Westside Vancouver Island. Canada Customs and Border Service is available in Ucluelet from June 1 to September 30 at the 52-step stock. The other nearest port of entry is in Victoria. Here are a few highlights cruising West Coast Vancouver Island. Moving from south to north, be sure to visit the Broken Group Islands in Barkley Sound. The Port Alberni Yacht Club has a clubhouse, docks, and upland trails that are open to guests. A fee is collected to help maintain their facilities, which are located along Robbers Passage on Fleming Island in the Deer Group of Barkley Sound. It's a truly special and scenic destination. The community of Banfield in Barkley Sound is a charming town divided by a waterway and so named East Banfield and West Banfield. The waterway or Main Street is crossed by dinghy. West Banfield is lined with a lovely boardwalk along the waterfront with flower boxes and interesting cottages and a grocery. You will also find fuel and casual fishing resorts. Banfield has several guest moorage options, including the public docks and a selection of private lodges with guest moorage space. Alberni Inlet has several nice stops, including Ucluelet Inlet, dotted with vacation homes along the shore. China Creek Marina and Campground on Alberni Inlet has fuel and services for small to mid-sized vessels. Anchorage can be found at several bays along the inlet, which is known for predictable inflow winds. Alberni Inlet cuts 21 miles into Vancouver Island to the town of Port Alberni, a popular launching point for trailerable boats cruising and fishing West Coast Vancouver Island. Port Alberni has marinas, fuel, provisioning, and complete services. Be sure to take the historic train to the nearby McLean Historic Steam-Powered Lumber Mill Museum, considered a must-see. The town of Ucluelet is located on the north end to the entrance of Barkley Sound. Guest moorage is available at 2 Harbor Authority docks, one with the Only Canada Customs on outside Vancouver Island. Available summer months only. Ucluelet offers more shops, good cafes, a bakery, and marine supplies. Ucluelet is also a welcome stop for the Van Isle 360 biennial sail race event. Moving up the coast with a 25-mile open water passage, we come to Ucluelet Sound, home to the tourist destination and beaches of Tofino, popular with surfers and shoppers who enjoy the latest dining experiences and trendy shops. Guest moorage is available in Tofino at the Harbor Authority docks or at the Tofino Resort and Marina. Moorage can be tight during the summer months. Fuel and marine supplies are available in Tofino, Ucluelet, and Port Alberni, and are the only major provisioning locations on West Coast Vancouver Island. Don't miss visiting the Big Tree Trail near Tofino on Muirs Island. Venture around the northeast side of Muirs Island, and you will find a series of connected inlets, bays, and passages that offer some excellent remote cruising. Take the dinghy or kayak past the private floating home and gardens near Quake Bay, situated north of Muirs Island. The rustic general store, fuel dock, and marine ways of Ahausat and the First Nations community of Marktoses are on the east side of Flores Island, where you will also find the 11-kilometer Wildside Trail. A permit is required. The northeast side of Flores Island is even more remote and beautiful, where you can cruise through Sulphur Passage and Bachanti Bay at the head of Shelter Inlet. Be sure to stop for a soak in the hot springs at Hot Springs Cove off Sydney Inlet. You can take your own boat to Hot Springs Cove or sign up for one of the high-speed tour operators out of Tofino. To avoid the tour groups, it's best to hike the boardwalk trail to the hot springs in the morning or evening, when you will usually have the springs to yourself. A fee is collected to go ashore at Mequinna Marine Provincial Park and hike the trail to the hot springs. You will find ample anchorage in Hot Springs Cove for overnight stays. Farther north is Nootka Sound, with the impressive 1911 Nootka Light Station and historic Friendly Cove. Friendly Cove is rich in history. Captain Cook entered Nootka Cove in 1778 in order to repair his ships, the Resolution and Discovery. European ships from all over came to Nootka Sound throughout the 1700s to trade with Chief Mequinna of the Nootka tribe. It was here that Captain Vancouver and Captain Quadra met in 1792 to negotiate the final details of the Nootka Convention, in which Spain relinquished to England its claims to Northwest lands. In Nootka Sound, you can journey up Tosses Inlet and visit Westview Marina, which has lodging, a cafe, moorage, and fuel. It's a popular fishing station to celebrate the weighing and cleaning of the biggest catch of the day. The town of Tosses is located nearby, where you can replenish groceries and supplies. The next sound to the north is Coaquet Sound, where you will find the tiny communities of Fair Harbor and Walters Cove, and the rugged Point Marine Provincial Park with its beautiful beaches. Brooks Peninsula is a turnaround point for many boaters who choose not to venture around the peninsula and around Cape Scott to the north, a venture that's needed to complete the circumnavigation of Vancouver Island. On the south side of Brooks Peninsula are the Bunsby Islands. On the north side of Brooks Peninsula is Quatsino Sound, with the tiny village of Winter Harbor near the entrance, and the communities of Coal Harbor and Port Alice deeper inside the sound. If you choose to reach the north end of Vancouver Island, you can connect up with BC's Inside Passage. For boaters wanting to see more outside territory, turn west off the Inside Passage at Fitzhugh Sound through Hackeye Passage. Then turn north to visit the lovely Spider Island group. Be sure you have a good weather window and are aware of the tides and currents flowing through these passages. There are several options to access the Spider Islands. You can reference the Wagoner Cruising Guide for more details. These beautiful islands are the perfect gunk-holing country for kayakers. The mother ship will find plenty of nice anchorages among the islands and islets. You will note that many of the islands are named after World War II era aircraft. Shearwater served as a Royal Canadian Air Force seaplane base for patrols over the Pacific. With the right weather, you can enjoy BC's outside waters that offer quiet anchorages, pristine landscapes, friendly communities, and a simple, cozy lifestyle.